Welcome to the Ibaxus channel, and for today's video we're going to be trying to answer some questions about Poppy Playtime's most mysterious character, Experiment 1006, aka the prototype. We do get some clues throughout the game, but the only time we really see the prototype up close is at the end of chapter 2, where it comes for the remains of Mommy Longlegs. If we listen to Mommy right before her legs get turned into mincemeat, we do get some clues about Experiment 1006 and its motives. Now we hear Mommy scream, "He will make me part of him," so we know the prototype was a man, and his plan is to steal parts from the other toys from the Bigger Bodies initiative to create a body for himself. We can also guess that Experiment 1006 must be in some kind of weakened state because he is only attacking the toys once we have defeated them.
There will be no mercy.
This supports the theory that it was in fact the prototype who sent us the letter at the beginning of chapter 1 to lure us back to the factory because he needs our help defeating the toys. We can also guess from what happened what the prototype will look like. If he is collecting toy parts to build a body, he will most likely be a collection of parts from the bosses of each chapter. But it is important to note that at the end of chapter 2 he didn't have any parts from Huggy Wuggy. So maybe Huggy survived his fall at the end of chapter 1. And this could point to Huggy and Kissy Missy returning at the end of the game to help us fight the prototype. Another theory that keeps coming up is that Experiment 1006 is controlling the other toys, but I think it's safe to say that that isn't the case. If he was controlling the toys, then he could take the parts whenever he wanted, and he wouldn't have to wait for us to defeat them. Now the big question is, who is the prototype? And the answer most people get to is the most obvious: Elliot Ludwig.
You are about to see the most incredible doll ever invented. Her name is Poppy, and she is the first truly intelligent doll in the world.
From what we have already learned, we know Elliot Ludwig founded Playtime Co. in 1930 and devoted a large part of his life to bringing joy to children. Ludwig was, for the most part, a visionary, a creative genius, but his devotion did end up costing him personally, as his wife Molly divorced him in 1930. But Elliot kept creating and was credited with revolutionising the toy industry and bringing happiness to millions of children.
Pedal faster! I can't go any faster!
Where you going, kids? Hey, I just want to talk to you. Why don't you come over to my place for a glass of wine and a couple of fruit pies, and then we can go in the back room and play crazy snakes.
So from the VHS tapes, letters and other clues around the factory, we can see that although Elliot was persistent with his work, he was still a family man, whose main motivation was bringing joy to children and staying ahead of the game. A VHS tape tells us that Elliot suffered the loss of a beloved family member in the 1960s, and although the tape isn't specific, we can theorise as to who the tape means. Now it couldn't have been Molly, as they were divorced 30 years prior, and if it was, why wouldn't they just mention it? No, I think Elliot remarried or met someone else entirely and had a young daughter together. Now nothing mentions what actually happened, but the child could have died during an accident at the factory. And we know Ludwig was already experimenting with the poppy flower at that time. So maybe he put his dying daughter's consciousness into Playtime Co.'s most popular toy at the time, which was the Poppy doll, as this was the only way he could save her.
Poppy Playtime! Poppy's as lovable as a real girl, and she talks like one too.
Hi, my name is Poppy. I love you.
Now, I don't think Ludwig would volunteer to be part of an experiment, but maybe the toys from the Bigger Bodies initiative revolted and forced him into the experiment. It could be why we find Poppy locked in a chest at the end of chapter 1. Maybe Ludwig locked her in there to keep her safe from the toys, who wanted her as a way to control Experiment 1006. We do know that the prototype was the smartest experiment, which would also fit in with it being Ludwig. And once he woke up as the prototype, maybe it was him who brought the factory down, as it was the only way to stop the toys escaping. So what do you think with the theories in this video, or do you think something else is going on entirely? Let me know in the comments. If you have enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more game theory videos.